Yo, what is going on, my fellow weebs? Corner here, and welcome back to the channel. So it's maintenance time. Maintenance has passed, or maintenance is currently going on, meaning I have another update video for you guys today. But before we jump to that, the usual YouTube things helps out. Press the important buttons. Like if you enjoyed, sub if you want to keep up with more. I actually supposed to say subscribe, because if you hear the word subscribe in the video itself, the little subscribe button lights up. Check down there if it actually worked or not. I don't know if it does, but we've chilled enough. Let's go ahead and roll the intro. All right, so, we had the headline earlier today. You guys watch it? What do you think? Is NGS saved? I hate that set. I hate that question. Such a weird question to ask. Does it need saving? Does it need changes? Yes. It's not dead. Saving is such a strong word for what NGS needs. It needs change. Is NGS changed? It's looking like a start, but we got a lot more to see. Anyway, we're going to go over the patch notes. These patches have been out for a little bit. We're over the patch notes. We're going to go ahead and go over what's new, what's coming up. But if you're asking yourself this first time watching these videos, why am I sitting here listening to this guy read this information to me? You don't have to. Head over to ngs.ps2.com or ps2.com/players. Scroll down. Everything important usually is tagged with a little red dot. So as it becomes relevant or available, you'll see it here. It'll have a little red dot. Just go ahead, click on it, more read through it, and you're good to go. But if you're like me and you don't like to read things yourself, well, it's strange that I don't like to read things myself, yet I'm doing these videos. But if you are like me, you like to have things running in the background while you're doing other things, well, toss up on the second monitor or maybe behind the game you're playing, and I'll go through all of the important information that you need to know the way you're aware and ready to go when the servers go live. Start out with the server announcement. Servers are going to be down from 7 p.m. till 4 a.m. EDT. Meaning servers will be down for like another 5-ish hours at the time that I record this video. It should be live around the time the servers go live, maybe about an hour. Either this video is going to go live when the servers go live or about an hour before or after. So it should be around that time frame. So first thing on the list is the Slayer adjustments. Now I have read through all of these. I read through these on stream. The TLDR in most of these situations right now is a lot of things are being buffed. They're relaxing some sidestep cancel timing, things like slud shots being buffed as well. We're not sure how much is going to be buffed by, if it's going to make sure that's actually useful now. But the new skill that Slayer got, I'm not sure if they mentioned it here. This is like the adjustments that they made. No, they don't mention it here. But Slayer also got a new skill that allows them to use their gauge to get a massive hit with their slug shot, as well as get some increased damage with Relentless Blade. So pretty cool stuff there, but everything mostly is being buffed. The finisher potency of Overdrive Focus finisher is buffed, Unleash Rage, Mobile Blade, Slug Shot, a bunch of potencies for different actions with Gunblade in general, whether it's move or stationary. A lot of the different PAs are being buffed. Everything has increased potency on it, with a few having a couple of redistributed potencies mixed in here as well, like Flowing Sirius. They're also adjusting the tech arts customization, specifically these two here. So Waving Wriggle, or is it Raving Wriggle? Raving Wriggle? I don't know how this is pronounced specifically. And Shifting Spicia. They're both going to have the decreased PP cost for type 3 specifically adjusted, and then type 3 also increased potency of each hit when there's no directional input for Waving Wriggle has been added in here too. That's it for Slayer stuff. Like I said, they're getting a new skill as well, so I'll have to see how much these adjustments are and how much stronger Slayer will be. If you want my opinion on the matter, Slayer realistically should probably be one of the second strongest classes in the game. They don't really offer anything else outside of just damage. I don't feel like they should be stronger than Fighter, as Fighter has the downside of technically being more likely to die or lose their damage. Slayer just does damage. If it provided like crit rate to everyone or something like that, it'd be different, but it doesn't really do anything else. So it realistically should probably have a lot more damage than most classes. And that's including Bouncer. That's saying that as a Bouncer player. Also have the apparently they're changing the skill description of Celeste EX style. The Celeste EX style, the Celeste EX style skill / flawless, because I guess it's just wrong. It's not changing what it does. It's only do the same thing I did beforehand, but the description is off. I haven't used it really since it came out. We've been on address ever since, so I'll have to check it out when it goes live. Enemies, so they're increasing telegraphs for Grand Miser, some changes of stuff in the field. So we've got enemy cap level changing for altered battle line Tundra Gorge. The required battle power is also adjusting. They're also changing it so if the party leader leaves in Nameless City Exploration, basically quests where you have a party leader, and if that person were to abandon the quest previously, it abandoned it for everyone. It's basically going to just abandon it for the party lead, and everyone else will stay in, and the party lead will just move on to the next person. They're also adjusting main chapter story 7, or sorry, main story chapter 7's follow-up chapter, and the stars fell, so the commemorative photo scene is not automatically triggered after the quest. Probably gonna have you go somewhere, something along those lines for that. And also, of course, various other changes in interface. You're more than welcome to read through them. The stuff we've already been through in the headlines, nothing too crazy there. They also are adjusting the brightness attack visual effects for the Fluxio and the Rinzer series, primarily to go along likely with the new Legend Legend 4 weapon that's coming out. So that's pretty cool. That's basically it for the most part. Nothing else that's all that important. We also have we're moving on to the update information. So we've got main story chapter 8. Now, what they've explained to us, this is the prologue to the chapter where we're starting up a new saga. So I don't know how long this is going to be. I'm not sure how much is going to be in it, but I am interested to see what they're going to be doing with it. This might be like they're trying to downplay it, say, hey, look, guys, this is going to be everything. Or just saying, hey, there's going to be a lot of questions, and that's intentional. So we'll have to see how that goes. But show off the new character. They talk about us seeing or hearing a familiar voice. Not sure what that means, but we'll have to see. Limited time quest, Invasion of the Shifting Sands. So a new LTQ. It's going to be an 8-man going through the desert to a final boss fight. So pretty cool stuff. We have new bosses or upgraded bosses. We have High Gillenak and High Grandmiser. That's probably why they're also changing up Grandmiser's. Some of the bosses tells basically. So, and they mentioned specifically one of the bosses can heal enemies around it. So you want to take him out quickly first. Of course, additional tasks and titles and all that good stuff there too. And then talk about Slayer update along with equipment and ring updates. So Gunblade Focus Extra Drive. This is what I was talking about earlier. Consumes 3 levels of Gunblade Focus gauge to enhance Relentless Blade for a set time. Selection also gets a big one-time only boost during the duration. Plus balance adjustments for Slayer and Gunblade. We already went over those, so mostly buffs here. The next upgrade for the 14-star, I guess we call it the audio series. I don't know what to call it, dude, but this is the R Baradio. The upgrading off of Leaf Audio is going to be the next series of upgrading. Basically, everything's going to stay the same with increased stats and adding a healing effect to it. So nothing too crazy there. We have 3 new rings that are being added in. So we've got Photon Blast Amp, Defeat Amp, and then Photon Blast Follow. Of course, these are going to be based on Photon Blasts. It looks like the amounts these rings are set for are about even with our other rings, so it likely won't be like a power creep situation. More likely just like another option situation. And this looks like it's down to 90 seconds. If you're able to, Photon Blast once every 90 seconds, then this is going to be really, really good. Have some good uptime. Defeat Amp, I think this is when enemies are either downed or taken out. I think it might be when enemies are downed. They mentioned enemies being down, they mentioned enemies being taken down, so it might be like when they're defeated. So we'll have to see how that goes. This kind of makes sense with the name Defeat Amp. So various improvements and features. They're adding in some changes to the weapon lab. I do like this quite a bit. We talked about this again during the headline. Essentially what's happening is instead of you selecting the type of upgrade you want to make, then the item itself, and then like the materials or whatever, they're doing is they're going to have you select the item first. Then there are types of upgrades for that item, and then you select your materials. So it should be a bit more streamlined, and they have a new graphic for it as well, which is really, really nice. And then of course various other changes, things changing with premium slots, making it easier for you to use things, so on and so forth. This is a little bit of a letdown. They're expanding the DPS meter by adding a critical rate meter to it, how often you've crit. I feel like this is just placating Slayer, is really honest. I was hoping they were going to do more with this. They said they were adding this with the expansion of the DPS meter, and this is like the only expansion they did to it. So I don't know if this is like the first part of it. They're planning to add more. If this was it, if anything, it's kind of lame. They still have the same problem of like, if you hit a target, then hit a different target for a while, then come back to their target, the DPS meter is running the entire time, so you can't really tell what your active DPS is reasonably. So this is only going to be useful for like single target boss encounters essentially. So I'll have to see how that goes. And you can also put weapons on decoys now, by the way, so that's pretty cool. Arcs decoys now have weapons. Neat. AC Revival is pretty standard. Nothing too crazy to talk about there. We have the Echoes of Idola scratch. We finally get Jasper's tattoos in NGS. Super dope to hear about it, but unfortunately, I feel like they kind of dropped the ball here by not including any of his other weapons, and they also didn't include an idol for him either. So very, very sad. Of course, they choose Idol Jasper specifically. Doesn't even have his weapons, so very annoying, but it is what it is. Now, this is, of course, the halfway point of what I asked for, so then for the other half, I'll see how that goes. And that's it for the update information here. We also have a story campaign. So we have the main story chapter 8 release campaign. TLDR money. That's it. You do the story, they pay you. Looking for more? That's all you really need. Star gems plus money. There's also some treasure scratch stuff that's being added in as well. That's pretty self-explanatory once it actually comes out. But the big thing here is literally do the story, get money. There's also an enhancement support campaign. People were complaining that this wasn't a thing. It looks like it absolutely is. So they're doing enhanced support campaign starting on the 1st for the Sporadio, Leafadio, and our Radio series. Good time for me to go ahead and make mine. Also for Forsha and Belfast armor, bad time to make this as they've already announced a new armor set. So I would not worry about making your armor. Focus on weapon and then chill from there. And of course the Echoes of Idola Scratch, so we can see all the different outfits and things like that. Kind of an L here. They made this a set wear, but they did make the other part of this like its own base wear, but there's no outerwear that's Jasper's coat. So that's a little bit of an L as far as I'm concerned. Also no shoeless variant of this. Well, they do have a shoeless variant of the Songstress one here. Kind of annoying is what it is, but yeah, we take it how we can. Jasper's hair is being added in. I love how they said Jasper Idol hair. It's just his hair. There's nothing different here. But the big thing is, of course, Jasper's tattoos. That's kind of the big thing for me specifically. But on the L side of things, one, they've separated the tattoos now. So like if you want the scars plus the tattoos, you have to use 2 slots, which really sucks. And 2, there's only 2 slots to begin with. So it kind of doubly sucks because you won't be able to use a lot of the other things you want to use in this situation. So it is what it is. We want to, hopefully in the future, we see more skin slots, but for right now, that is not the case. Nothing else here too crazy. That's super over the top Idola stuff. Backdrops, stamps, the different instruments and things like that. Pretty cool stuff here, but that's pretty much it. I'm more or less rambling on at this point. If there's anything I missed, feel free to let me know in the comments below. You know what? One thing to mention as well, in case you didn't see it here, the UD augments are on the way. These augments will be replacing the Roddy augments, and these will not be coming out until May. This is giving you a month heads up. They've actually been pretty good about giving notifications of when these augments are being power crept, so you know not to purchase or not to invest too early on in. Get about a month's heads up usually in the situation, usually about a month to a month and a half heads up. So they are going to be doing UD augments. I'm going to bet that these will likely also include more EXA variant augments. I do believe they're saying that they were going to bring out some more EX variant A augments for more options. So if you're someone who does invest into these scratches, now is a good time to go ahead and get yourself prepared for that. As far as the gear treadmill has been going on recently, they need to up the number of vouchers we're getting. That's pretty much the TLDR in the situation. New weapons should be exciting. New armor should be exciting. It's not exciting when we can't really jump over to it because of the lack of transfer tickets. It's not difficult to build up the armor sets. It's difficult to have to rebuild them multiple times. So I don't know what they need to do to figure that out, but they got to figure that out pretty soon because it's starting to become a little bit too much. It was cool when they first announced it, and it's cool when they first brought these out because they gave out quite a few of them, but it's been pretty barren for the most part. And people are already having a difficult time keeping up. I'm having a difficult time even getting the 3 I need, and I've skipped one of the armor sets. So let that let that sink in for you. But that's pretty much all I've got for you guys today. Again, if I missed anything, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe when you keep up with more. As always, channel members, you guys are fantastic, as well as Patreon members. I appreciate every single one of you, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, my friends. Peace out.